Almost makes me think that there's something psychological going on because the IRGC is facing civil war in the Iranian Guard. And, when you remote view it, it's very likely that they're the ones that assassinated the vice president. Um, uh, what was his name? I can't even remember the guy's name anymore, but in the airplane. So Israel is aware of it looked like Israel was aware and choreographed with people inside Iranian leadership. You have to realize that they only have like 35% support within Iran, and supposedly the people that support them are the bureaucrats, the people who get paid these jobs to enforce certain things. And so because it's economically feasible for them to maintain the bureaucracy, that's how it's kind of been perceived of. And so you have a hard time knowing. People say, well, that was Israel, or was it Israel, or was it the IRGC, or was it a coordinated attack between elements inside the IRGC and Israel? Like when the helicopter went down and the Israelis were saying, it wasn't us. And then I did a remote and it wasn't them. It was the IRGC. So there you go. Okay. War with Iran. There's another man coming. This is a really cocky attitude we're getting, both from the Ayatollah and the VP. This kind of belief that America can't do anything, and openly saying we're going to build nuclear weapons. So I'm a little concerned. Confusion, lunacy. It is a delusion born because they've come to the end of the rope in their administration, and they put everything in the pot on their faith. This is like a poker game. And it's kind of like the universe sees it as a great poker game. Well, I'm betting on Shia Islam and we're going to win against the West. And that's what I'm betting on. But if you look at the opposition, it's lunacy. So if you think about the 8th house in a blitz, we only do 4 cards because we try to get through a lot of questions. But it's the second house. Second house is opposition in a blitz. So the opposition to right now to Iran is insanity, lunacy, people in positions of power who are insane. And then you have the other aspect, which they inherited from the Ottomans, which is a need for bureaucracy. So it's almost like King of Pentacles bureaucracy meets lunacy. So the bureaucrats keep the insanity going so that they can continue to receive a bureaucratic paycheck. It reminds me of The Trial by Kafka, right? People are getting taken out and then shot, right? They don't even know why, just to maintain the bureaucracy of Stalin's Russia, right? So it's this kind of, what the hell are we doing? Well, it's my job, but why? So that I can continue to get a paycheck. Hopes and fears, 6 of Cups, the old ways. 6 of Cups is a romantic kind of look at the past, the Shah, wanting the Shah as a figurehead, a democracy like what you have in Britain, as a figure of the symbolism of these are the values of the new Iran, more than somebody who necessarily would have political power. He would be the spirit of the country, right? So you have this kind of desire to go back to the good, what was good before. And the final outcome is poverty for Iran and to be bankrupt and to be locked out of the church. They bet on a faith which caused them to, plan October 7th, what's going on with Hezbollah. and their beliefs, their insanity will lead to their poverty. I see great women coming into power. I see a golden girl coming. A golden woman, a golden queen will rule. So that tells me the Shah's family's coming in, and that the future leadership of the Shah's family is their daughters, the women of the Shah's family. This gold woman is coming over the house of the Shah. And then they will take the weapons of war away from their captor. Strong woman coming, a golden woman like a queen appears. Five of Swords is to take control over one's captors. The hopes and the fears. Four of Cups, that they will meet with resistance, and then the final outcome is that masters, the intellectuals, the academics, the truly brilliant, because it's always been a bureaucracy. It's always been a country of legal scholars and intellectuals. They got that from the Ottomans, but they had it long before the Ottomans. Persia's always been a hub of intellectual appeal, but Eight of Pentacles is like mastery and brilliance and also financial stability. But I perceive the future of Iran will be that the Shah's legacy is like the queen. It's a queen or a woman on that lineage who hails in great intellect and mastery, a future that is quite industrious and intellectual. That's what I see for Persia under this queen. Mm-hmm. Studious, masterful. Biggest fear, Four of Cups, would be that the people cannot rise, that they are stubborn, that they cannot break free of their own stubbornness into this, that they cannot rise to meet this Queen of Wands, that her opposition is, the hopes and fears is Four of Cups. It may be too big of a leap, just like what happened with Barack Obama. It was too big a leap for many Americans. They simply couldn't handle it. They had a breakdown. Same could happen in poor regions of the South where, I just had a phantom fly by. There's a white thing flying by. You could have poor, uneducated areas of the South, areas near Afghanistan, where there's rebellions. Four of Cups. We will die rather than surrender or accept this. Four of Cups, because they had a job as bureaucrats. They were given charity or income from the state. Poor people that were being brought in from areas like Afghanistan, extremely religious, and they in many cases sought work under this regime. So then you get this Four of Cups, this refusal to change. And then and then what happens is you have to get rid of them. You have to push them out of the way, get the hell out of here. And then the master comes in and takes the seat and sits at the table, and then the work starts getting done. If they cannot adapt and change to the new Iran, they will not survive. Ooh, red velvet cake, yummy. Third Place Books. Where do I know that place? Where is Third Place Books located? There's this really great place in downtown Los Angeles. It's a great bookstore. But because they closed down the cafe and they won't allow you to use the bathroom, I never go there, and I never can go anymore. Who wants you to spend 2 hours at a bookstore if you can't go into the cafe and also use the restroom, right? You can spend the whole day at a bookstore. But They got rid of the cafe and they got rid of the book and they got rid of the bathroom. So it's like, I can't stay 10 minutes. I got to get out of here, right? And I think it really hurts their business not having a bathroom. Okay, let's see what we got going on here. Okay. Tariffs. I don't know. Joel is asking. Hi, Mila. Joel is asking, why is Trump obsessed with tariffs? Anybody want to throw it out there? What do you think? What do you think the answer is? Hi, Mila. You want to come up here? We coming? You coming? Come on. Let's go. Come on. Let's go. Come on. Where are you? Come on. Come on. She's deciding. Oh. Okay. Say hi to my little allergy. Okay. She just dropped the cards. Oh my gosh, Mila, you just dropped the cards. All right, what are we at now? So yeah, I don't know what his obsession is with tariffs. It seems to me like there's this underlining fear he has that he will be ripped off, and that it harkens back to being a businessman where he was known to not pay his wages, to pay his bills. And so it almost has that feeling. Hi, baby, how are you? Where he's trying to get the best deal, and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that, and you have to pay me this. Like he's running it like a guy who's really cheap, who's running a business and doesn't want to pay anything for it. Well, we'll help you. We'll help you. She's kissing me. So long as you let us get, it's like we will rescue you from the psychopath, but you have to let us rape you first. It has that kind of attitude. Like with Zelensky, that he's dealing with not only his country being invaded, but in addition to his country being invaded, these children have been kidnapped and abused, molested, women have been raped, etc. So some really horrible things the Russians have done. So when you put yourself in the shoes, time to have dinner, and that's what it was about. Yeah, I guess it wasn't about love. So when you put yourself in Trump's shoes, it's all about you're gonna have to give me something, honey. It has that kind of a feel. But let's take a look. What's in it for me? Why should I do anything for you? What's in it for me? A sucker. Don't be a sucker. America was a sucker. Pay me. You want me to protect you, Ukraine? Give me the money. Great. We get all of the mineral rights. Screw you. Who benefits? Who benefits from mineral rights? SpaceX? Does SpaceX benefit from mineral rights out of Ukraine? Probably. Why? Because they have to have a certain grade of metal, right? A certain grade of steel, a certain grade of certain things. And he has gone on record complaining that sanctions have harmed him in terms of grade and quality of certain metals, certain heavy minerals, etc. So that's also interesting. Maybe Elon Musk wants to get easy access to certain things, and in addition to buying the presidency, he's hoping Musk to possibly also get good mineral rights, I would think. I would be thinking that way if I was obsessed with getting to Mars and it was getting to be too expensive. And and those damn sanctions, and I've got to get to Mars. You've got to put yourself in the shoes of an obsessed 10-year-old with a head injury who it'll all work itself out in the wash. And if I feel guilty, I just take the drugs to suppress the bad feeling. I got it all figured out, but we got to get to Mars, right? This is the 10-year-old Elon Musk, right? So it's all go, go, go. We got to get to Mars. We got to get to Mars. So if I have a problem and my rocket ships keep blowing up because my steel cannot take high temperatures past 1,000 degrees and you've blocked my trade. I've heard him talk literally like that, like a child whining. Well, we're learning a lot. You wouldn't let me get my steel. What have we learned? Well, we've learned a lot. We've learned a lot about how things melt after that, because you won't let me have my stuff. So I'll just steal an election so I can get my mineral rights, so I can get, you see, it starts to look like that. And also the steel or the metal or the ice king, right, is the king of swords as Trump is depicted. So it's an icy, cold kind of a feeling of, what's in it to me, babe? Like, what's in it for me, baby? The opposition to him is the women's power or the women's vote. So, did women vote? Did they vote for Trump? If they voted, did they vote for Trump? Hopes and fears, anger and violence in the country. The Knight of Swords gone berserk. We've talked about heavy winds. We've talked about attacking the lungs, chi. It can be a virus, like a virus upon the land, or a war. It's helter skelter. It's violence. It's the bull in the china shop. It's that kind of more bull in the china shop. It has that violent wind. When the wind gets heavy, you'll see this. Final outcome is Page of Pentacles. A new job is coming to Donald Trump. He has a new job. I have no idea. Isn't that what they say when a dog doesn't make it as a guard dog? They say that he had a changing career or something. I'm going to go chase the ball instead. And that might be what we're looking at here. It's kind of like the dog that flunks the police academy. We say he had a career change. He goes to live on the farm and play with the ball, right? So Trump's policies could be excelling over the next 6 months. His opposition is patient. Women are seen as patient. Over the issue of warring, a heavy load lay ahead. And the final outcome is death. I need a clarification, because he feels like he's winning. 6 of Wands. Do you think he's winning? Do you think Trump is winning? Do you think it's temporary? How long do you think he'll be there? Addiction happens every time. Could be addiction to power, drugs, sex. Yeah. Relationships. Opposition. Strong. The women of the law, the women soldiers, the women military, truth. The truth. Archangel Michael comes with the sword of truth. It's that kind of an energy. Hopes and fears. Trump thinks that J.D. Vance is talking behind his back. He has something came up that there was a rumor. I'm feeling or sensing something about because his hope and fear is J.D. Vance, or a feeling of not trusting J.D. Vance. I keep thinking about him having to give an Air Force One or whatever helicopter ride to Elon Musk's son, had to babysit him because Elon Musk's son wanted to fly on the helicopter. And he was literally being bossed around by a 4-year-old. I want it now. A judgment must fall. A judgment is falling on the Trump presidency soon. There is a concern here. Could be codependency because they feel that his relationship with Elon Musk is codependent and sick or unhealthy. The lady of the law is coming, and you know what? I'm feeling like some kind of a conspiracy is happening here. This is starting to make me feel like I've got some kind of an addiction or codependency as Trump. I've got this lady of the truth and the sword of justice coming after me. I'm paranoid about J.D. Vance, and then there's this justice, which I think judgment is the Queen of Swords, right? His opposition is the truth. So I think that if I were him, I'd be paranoid, and I would be thinking that they're secretly plotting against me and that cabinet members could be removing me because of this stuff. Because I'm seeing a judgment, I'm seeing paranoia about members of my own cabinet, because it's Marco Rubio. It's not just Marco Rubio, it's also other people. He's now starting to worry about J.D. Vance. So if this trend continues, how many of his own cabinet will be forced to pull the guy out of there? There's attempts to leverage power with him as a way of manipulating him to their side. So people may be feeling in the cabinet that they will try to woo him or seduce him before they pull the plug. Ace of Cups is to woo. It's love. It's love, 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 love. And you have this opposition, the courts and the world. So the other problem here, if you're looking at it as like a blitz is like 1 week, right? We usually say like a week. If you're talking about the next 2 weeks, you're seeing a rising international opposition in the courts against Trump and Musk. Because the Queen of Swords is clarified by the world, and it's in the house of opposition. So the entire world stands against him in the next couple of months. Whereas he is in this Ace of Cups mode, which means that he's going to look. The stock market is a joke right now. He's going to have to try and. There's this Ace of Cups there. There's something that has to happen between him and his cabinet to get him back on the straight and narrow. Hopes and fears, Page of Pentacles. And then the final out, it's over. Knight of Pentacles goes nowhere. I don't know how much longer this can go on, but I can tell you that they're moving to, I think his cabinet's going to remove him. I think it could get to a point where the night, if you look at different nights, each one has a different kind of positioning. For example, if you're going to battle and you're going to fight, on God, charge. It's the Knight of Wands, which is that fiery red. And it's often, thought of in direction-wise, it's thought of southwest, if you're looking towards a direction. If you're talking about going nowhere or hold or stop, or not going forward at all, it's the Knight of Pentacles, because the Knight of Pentacles just stops and literally goes nowhere. And it often indicates the end of the road. When I get this kind of energy where at the final outcome of someone's I've had a lot of people come in and ask about marriage and whether or not they're going to wind up divorced. If I wind up with the Knight of Pentacles as a final outcome, it usually tells me it's over. That literally, I know so many people, they just literally did not want their marriage to end, but it was that the marriage was over whether they wanted to acknowledge it or not. They literally were two strangers just sitting there eating salad. It was like a War of the Roses, right? It's and no matter how I threw it, there was no way to salvage it. And I gotta say, I'm feeling that way about this presidency. Eighth house is the world. He's got the whole world against him, not in his hand, in his opposition, Knight of Pentacles. Not only that, but I'm telling you, he could stay, for another 2 years. I'm not saying he's not going to leave, but I'm telling you, April is hell. Because the other thing is that Page of Wands is April. Most readers read it as a spring card. It's the Aries child. So, and also the Page of Wands wears a salamander, which that there's a change coming. The salamander is there. So, yeah, some major change that could take Trump out in April. Crazy. I don't know. What do you guys think? Hi, Terry. Article 25. Yeah, it looked like Article 25 or his own people. And have you heard this latest that he is now coming after the Biden children? He removed their security. And also, he's trying to revoke the pardons that Biden's pardons. Okay, so we now have a situation where he's also going after judges, and we want to see if the Supreme Court is going to come in. If you haven't had a chance to like and subscribe, I'd be we got a lot of wonderful people here today. Be sure and tell us where you're coming from, what you're eating, what you're drinking. Be sure and join the chat. Say hi to everybody. There's 694 beautiful souls. We're all really happy to see you. And welcome to the party. All right, Trump versus the courts. Ace of Swords. He's very good at winning in the courts eventually. I mean, he will wear people down. The opposition is trapped or feels like they're in jail. The hope and the fear. Financial investments. It's all about investments. Final outcome is High Priestess. He has investments in the Middle East, investments in Israel. Six of Cups. He's going to try and make nice with people in the next couple weeks. I think that he's going to have to make a compromise with the courts because it looks like the courts hold. the courts hold. Mm-hmm. Courts hold. So he will get some wins. They will let him. They let him get away with a lot of stuff, but they're not going to let him get away with everything. That's kind of what it looked like. Rubio hates Musk. Let's take a look at Rubio. All right, Rubio. He's confused and he doesn't know what to do. He is seeing things that honestly have him concerned. And so he is the first. I think that he's having heart to heart talks with members of the Senate, people that he used to work with. I think he's really concerned. I think he's seeing things. Seven of Cups is to be in the clouds. It's when you honestly don't know what to do. The opposition is karma. So I just don't think that Trump has a future. It seems to be suggesting here that Rubio is concerned, sees the situation, doesn't know what to do about it, that there's this awareness. Trump's public behavior, how it feels from the Akashic record, is that his public behavior has become, he's falling apart in public. And he can't hold it together much longer. That's how I would describe it, because it keeps talking about end of the road and Wheel of Fortune. Like it's the person who just begins to fall apart, and then they. Sorry, I don't know how much longer I can keep going because I'm just having a bad reaction to Mila, and I haven't cleaned yet. I haven't started. It's my fault. Okay. What was I going to say? Yeah. Over. But it's more than that. It's more than that. It's a this guy can't hide it as well as he used to. Oh, inverted Ace of Wands. There it is again, the High Priestess coming. Something's going on. I wonder if he's sending troops to Gaza. That must be it. Truth is right over him. Scholars in the opposition, hopes and fears. There it is, the law. He's not going to be able to do a lot of stuff because the law will intervene. Some stuff will hold and some will not hold. That is what they're saying. Lovers would indicate reaching across the aisle. However, the cards would indicate, I don't see this guy staying around. Could be wrong. I could be wrong, but I'm concerned about April. I really am. Hi, Raymond. Lost money on the real estate. Oh, boy. Hi, Cindy. Hi, Claudia. Sarah Glantz. Terry in the court. Just Joan. Hi. Carol Montoya. Hello. Raymond Di Pasquale, hello. Cindy, 1903. You're in Texas. Are you enjoying some delicious Texas barbecue? I hope so. Mag Dastar, Hungarian goulash. Oh, that sounds divine. And we have the beautiful Geocosmic Valentine here. Hello, my love. She has her own channel. Check it out. Hi, Jennifer Hoffman, Joanne Kober, Claudia O, Sunset Kiss, Judy Jamerson, the author, brilliant author. Hopefully she'll be back in our studios. Check out her amazing works. And let's see, who else? Yvette is in the house. Dorothy Fitzmaurice, Tori, Claudia, Stephanie Stevens, Cami, Kim Kaya, Raymond, we said hi to. Okay, did we say hi? It's bouncing around. I'm trying here. Okay. Oh, now I can breathe. Finally, my medicine kicked in. I don't know why it took so long. I took some children's. I took some liquid children's. I don't like to take only 12.5 milligram of that. What is it? What is it called? Citrulline? Is that it? What is it called? The Claritin stuff. I got some of that. All right. Trump is, oh, now it's working. God, it took forever today. I'm sorry, you guys. All right. Trump is sending more troops. Oh, good. Trump is sending more troops to the border. Okay, now I can breathe, you guys. I thought I was going to have to get out of here. Okay, let's take a look at the immigration and what is going on with, yeah, it just kicked in, boom, like that. I just felt my left nostril finally open up. She's been sleeping on my pillows, and I've just been too lazy to clean. I'm fine. This just causes a nasal drip, and I have to take Benadryl before I record. Or this, I'm trying that children's one. You guys got to be careful with that stuff. Now they're linking chronic use with Alzheimer's. So I try to dust. I just, I'm not a fan of taking too many meds, to be honest. All right, let's look at the future of immigration. Oh, I can breathe again. Thank God. That worked pretty good. I only did a small amount. Okay, confidence, 9 of Pentacles in the garden, and the opposition is small children or children being negatively impacted could draw anger, and also the ethos of the country. So concerns about children, concerns about health, concerns about ethics, and the people will fight back for the land. 7 of Wands. Also, 9 of Pentacles is comfort in the land. I don't think we can financially afford to deport hardworking people that come in here. Like that one guy when his wife was crying, and they were, what were you doing? He was just construction. It's like, and they're like, okay, call my lawyer or whatever. It's like, what are we doing? They're just going to have to be released back on the border, and then take a frickin' cab. They take a group cab back. It's political maneuverings. Now they're coming out that a lot of these people are just being re-released. They take them at the edge, and then they re-release them, and then everybody comes back and goes back to work. And it's exactly what we said. They get a number. It's more that they want the theater of looking vicious. 9 of Pentacles is a confidence card. Like I said, it has to do with confidence in the garden. The opposition can be young children, Page of Cups, or innocence, or also health. The hopes and fears, also an ethics card or higher ethos, or even constitution, if you're asking about the law, leads me to think that he's in violation of the law. For example, children that have been born, anchor babies, etc. So he could be going after birthright, etc. Because 7 of Wands is typified by defender of the land. And so if you have somebody who was born in the United States, parents were illegal, they grew up here, and then maybe they served in the military, and now somebody is trying to take them out of their house. I mean, it's complete absurdity. So you have this kind of 7 of Wands energy coming out, which is also good for us because it means that the American people are fighting back. A lot of Trump supporters were married to people who came from other countries, and now their partners are getting arrested. And Ace of Cups would be that it gets worked out. So it's just, the thing that makes me so angry about this is that it's a political show, and it's like that guy got released 72 hours later. They gave him a ticket to register, and his family's all crying. It's like, why couldn't you have just brought a social worker to knock on the door and to confirm address? And we're going to do a background check, and then you apply for your resident. No, they wanted to humiliate hardworking people who we need in the country. We need them. We need them here. California, we will collapse economically. It's all, you want to pay $20 for the eggs? I mean, I don't want to work in a chicken plant. And I mean, no offense to anybody. I've done hard labor when I was younger, but those days are gone, right? So, Ace of Cups in the seventh house would indicate some kind of love offering or a gift that would indicate that we come back. Wow, that works really well. 12.5 milligram, half dose. I think it's because I don't use a lot of drugs. Yeah, worked great. All right, opposition again is confusion. So on the one hand, they have these angry, look, here's the problem with the opposition. If the Republicans lie to you, and if they tell you that the reason you're paid crappy wages is because of immigrants, if you're told there are no jobs because of the immigrants, and then if they get rid of all the immigrants and prices go up, then what happens? Everybody winds up confused. Well, how did that happen? We got rid of the immigrants because nobody has explained to them who picks the vegetables, who collects the eggs, who works in the slaughterhouses so that you can get your chicken legs. Right, these are jobs that rely heavily on new immigration. This has been the case for a really long time. If you read The Jungle, it was all the new immigrants coming off the boat and getting a number and then going straight into the jungle. You guys all read The Jungle? From the boat, they would be looking for strong men, and then they would take them into the meat factories. People would have their arms chopped off. People wound up with getting killed, dying because it was such a dangerous job, and still is working in meat factories. But that whole cycle has not changed. So you have Smith farms, these various different farms, and again, the same kind of jungle feel to it, where it's people fighting and working hard and paying their dues. Seven of Wands. Damn it, I worked my ass off to be here. I worked at Smithfield. I did this. I'm going to stay, right? Seven of Wands. And then confusion is kind of scary because if we have a moon card as the hopes and fears of leadership, again, it's almost like saying, they were lied to about what the cause of the problem is, and so that is why they are upset that there is no solution. This was never the cause, and so it's not the solution. It is not the cause of inflation, and it is not embargoes on grains coming out of Europe, so we have less wheat. And also we've had to cull a lot of animals because of the bird flu. And there are trade embargoes, and it's affecting everything, including oil prices. All kinds of things happened. So, and it had nothing to do with, the research showed also that the stream of immigrants coming in at a certain level, because of this type of labor, you can only do this type of labor for maybe 5-10 years, and then you have to move on to another type of a job. Anybody who stays there for 15-20 years, it's going to be hard on your health. 10 of Wands is back-breaking labor too, which was the other kind of interesting that happened here. The person who defends their land, but also 10 of Wands busts their ass. This is that Smithfield kind of an energy that we're talking about. So literally gave my life to you. And that 10 of Wands is to like give your life to the work. So regular people being harassed who probably are desperately needed in the workforce as part of the natural economic flow of the country, being humiliated in order to get brownie points with constituents, but ultimately will do nothing to help the country. That's my report. What did Joel say? Yeah, exactly. So Joel is the floor director. Thank you, Joel, for helping today. Joel Tilson says crops will be left in the fields and rot because of Trump's immigration policy. Yeah, and but then once the cameras are gone, which Fox News, they go there and they coordinate for the arrest, then in a couple days the guy can be released and he can get his number. And then he has to go and have a lawyer and all this other stuff. And meanwhile, he's been traumatized. His wife's been traumatized. The company doesn't have a worker for a couple of days. It's just really stupid, right? But yeah, evidently the majority of them, well, we want the hardened criminals. That was the same with Obama. Obama deported tons of criminals. Nobody wants gangs here, El Chapo and all of that stuff. But if somebody comes in and they're a day laborer and they have a job, then the only thing to do is to have them registered. So um, I think it was Bush Jr. that was the one that started loosening things up because of economic reports on states that were high earners. If you look at a state like California, I think Joel knows this because Joel and I have talked about this. But if you look at a state like California, it has the wealth, 1/5 of the world's wealth, right? It's the 5th wealthiest place in the world. So if you're looking at this, just the GDP of the United States, where the feds are getting its profits, it's getting a lot of their profits from the wealthy states, and where the wealthy states getting their profits from agriculture. So if you're dependent on federal taxes from that state, which is the wealthiest, the 2 wealthiest states, I think, are New York and California. Am I not mistaken about that? I think so. I hope the war doesn't escalate in Iran. Israel and Iran, we can go ahead and take a look at it, but let me see if I'm going to be able to go to Israel. I'm supposed to fly out on April 23rd, but I might have to cancel because they might, you know how it goes. All right, what is going on with Iran and Israel? I know, Audrey, I turned that down because it's mild. Like I took a children's thing of whatever and it's gone. And it's not all the time. It's only like April and fall when I have a problem. So I just need to clean my house and I'm lazy. That's the truth. But you see a couple drops or whatever and it goes away. 10 of Pentacles, the family legacy again. I'm telling you, I think that Iran is going to have civil war. I think Iran is going to have civil war. Oh, that's very auspicious, Knight of Cups. And I think that Iran is going to do everything in their power to avoid war in the future. Knight of Cups is like the diplomat, and that's very good. And Israel, that's good. So something will happen, I think it's saber rattling. I don't think that, the truth be told, Iran really wants to go to war with Israel. Because Knight of Cups, I mean, there's a lot of readers here. They can tell you that's like the knight on the white horse. It's the diplomat. It's the seducer's card. It's if it's inverted, but it was straight up. It's us in search of the Holy Grail, but it's also it's often seen as in conflict. It's seen as like the diplomat. So I think, and then the clarification card was High Priestess, which is Israel. So if you're asking me, do I think we're on the verge of escalating violence? Absolutely, 100%. How do I think it will end? I think that it goes back to the remotes. Stage 4 is that we will see NATO marching on Moscow. And 5 is that we will see the complete collapse of Iranian leadership. In terms of when we can calculate, if you're asking the math, because I always do the remotes and then I go back and use supercomputers, which makes my life a lot easier. But Grok said that we could be seeing the collapse of he was optimistic. He thought that Putin could survive up until next year. I don't think he can. And that Iran would be out in 2027. But again, I think Grok is being optimistic. I don't think they can make it that long. I think it's very likely that just agreed with me, because you can look at percentages where you just have Grok do percentages. This is what I think based on data, and then you throw in the data, and then Grok will tell you. But what I felt was that he's not a real partner. The whole world stops because of Putin. You can't go forward with him as a real negotiator. He's kidnapped 200,000 people out of Ukraine. It's a no-brainer. You're going to have to first deal with that before you can. The whole world would shun you if you did business with this guy. He's not a serious trade partner, and he will never be a serious trade partner. He's a pariah. So I think Grok was like at 200%, because you do a 50% this, 60% here, 70% there, and then you put all the variables together and it surpasses 100. So it kind of frustrates me, because you would think that, why is it taking so long? And certainly if you can just Google it and have Grok show you the data, then I'm sure Putin knows what we know, that he is a threat to global security, and that the West knows they have to remove him. So when somebody talks about, we can get along with him, we can let him have half of Ukraine and half the children he kidnapped, that's the height of insanity, and it goes against everything that the data shows. It's the same with Iran. They're not real partners to the Middle East. They sent Hezbollah. They've been terrorizing Lebanon. Look what they did to Syria. Never mind what they're doing to Israel. They literally have terrorized the whole neighborhood, and what they've done to their own citizens. So it's the same thing if you punch it into Grok. This administration in Iran can only survive maybe to 2027. That's why people like Elon Musk say war is inevitable. It's not because he's a genius, but he is one of the investors in Grok. It's because with super computers, you can see the direction you're headed, and then if you can either choose to change it or not. You really hope the military, when you're dealing with somebody that's crazy, you have to be very judicial, but at the same time, you have to accept the facts are the facts. He's insane, and he's not somebody that we will ever be able to do business with, and he will always be a threat, which is why the collapse, the march on Moscow was inevitable. It's something that has to happen. We can delay it, and we have delayed it with Trump sitting here, waste another 6 months trying to talk to him. But in the end, there's no resolution with him in power in Russia. Yeah. All right, you guys, I'm so sorry it took so long for my medicine to kick in. I'm sorry about the cough. If you're trying to get in for a reading with me, you can find the information below. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Be kind to all, so that all will be kind to you too. God bless. Peace out, and we will see you next time. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much for your love and support. Bye.